The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the June 10th, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that, well, it's to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off to Steve at TFNN.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. And, of course, if you're inside our Tigers Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we begin our day out here with a rally going on. You've got the Dow that's up 41 points, S&P 17, 49 for the NASDAQ 100, 15 for the Russell 2000, 243 for the trannies, 70 for the semis, 56 for the composite NASDAQ, and 67 points for the New York Stock Exchange composite. Gold is off $7, silver's down 25 cents, with light sweet crude trade up 80 pennies, light natural gas back 8 cents. We see a number of stars and TD9s out there. Those are active TD9 count tops, for example, in the S&P 500, the NDX 100, the NASDAQ Composite, the New York Stock Exchange, and the Spot VIX Index. Why don't we just start with the Spot VIX Index here? So here's a potential trade for you. Those that want to trade dynamite out here, you've got the Spot VIX. And today is going to go ahead and complete a TD9 count pattern out here. You could take one of those long, I don't know if it's UVXY or something along those lines. You would have a stop below the low of the pattern. Low of the pattern is the low from June the 6th out there. I'm not showing one of those instruments, but that's what you would do. Where would price likely rally to? I would say in this instance here, the likely rally for the Spot VIX is up towards the 2055 level. 2055 is the TD9 count breakdown area. The rally, on any rally, should we see a rally, 2055 to 2144 would be that likely price target. Here you can see the New York Stock Exchange, which yesterday confirmed a TD9 count top. Today completes that pattern. First level of retracement would be that oscillator and change line. Currently at about 20,000 even Steven. A close below that, we'd be looking at 19,599 as a price target. Advanced client oscillator remains below zero. These are conditions that are bullish for the New York Stock Exchange. We do have these nice TD9 count tops. Will this one work as well? Well, the last one did. That was one from May 19th. The one from May 2nd worked. And then the one from March the 26th. The last three worked. Is the fourth time a charm? Don't know, but we're going to find out pretty soon. So that's what's going on with those two instruments. Let's go back and take a look at the main panel out here. See what other TD9 counts we should be paying attention to. So you've got the ES Mini. You've got the NQ. What's interesting about the NQ is we've just now moved into, we had a little bit of a tick higher today. You still have the TD9 count pattern, Rhodes Momentum Indicator top inside the daily time frame for the NQ. Those don't get negated unless there's a close above 21,935. We are now in bar number 8 on a weekly time frame. We always were in bar number 8, but now we've got a higher high of the pattern. So you could get a TD9 count top on a weekly basis as well. That would complete between this week and the next two out there. Next week, should we not negate the daily TD9 count top, then next week all that the NQ needs to do is close above 29.75 to go ahead and confirm that TD9 count top pattern out there. What else do we want to take a quick peek at here? Let's go look at inside the technology sector, the XLK. The XLK forms a TD9 count top yesterday. It completes that pattern today. So whatever the high is, yesterday's high was... trying to find it. Yesterday's high was 241.01. We have not made a higher high yet today. We're 240.32. But whatever the high of the pattern is, you've got a T9 count top, which should then take place as price should pull back. The first level of support will be the oscillator and change line, 238.73. Below that, the next level is going to be 235.77, the top of its profile. The weekly time frame is in bar number 8 of a T9 count. That suggests that you could get a top between this week and the next two out there. That's what's going on with the XLK, the number one sector inside, weighted sector that is, inside of the S&P 500. The real estate sector is the only other sector. I take that back. Nope, I don't take that back. The XLRE, the real estate sector, is the only other sector with the TD9 count top. That pattern will complete today. We have price that is testing the top of its bearish structured daily profile. That resistance zone is between 41.74 and 42.11. We're at 42.09 as we speak right now. The weekly chart has a sell zone as well. The weekly sell zone is between 42.24 and 43.05. What should take place is the XLRE, beginning tomorrow, maybe later today, should pull back and test the 41.74 level. Below that, we'd be looking to move to 41.01. Anything else out here? We talked about Microsoft and NVIDIA. They completed TD9 count tops out here. Let's take a quick peek at NVIDIA. As long as price, first, NVIDIA would negate its TD9 count top with a close above 145 even Steven. Right now, price is testing the oscillator and change line, which is at 142.23. If price closes below that, the progression steps are 139.19, 134.89, 139.92, and 132.03. In NVIDIA, we are also in bar number 8. So that's 3 in a row out here on a weekly time frame. So that says you could get a top between this week and the next two. If we take a quick peek here at Microsoft, we probably ought to do the top 8 instruments inside of the NDX 100. But right now, we'll just stop with these here. These are the two with the TD9 count tops. So Microsoft completes its TD9 count top yesterday. A close above yesterday's high. Yesterday's high being 473.43 negates that pattern. There's a new profile that is formed. This new profile is formed below price. That is typically a bullish message out here. But still, that profile can act as support on a retracement. The support levels would be 466.27, 462.70, 457.33, and then finally, you've got 455.31 as well. Microsoft also on a weekly basis in bar number 8. That says you could get a TD9 count top between this week and the next two. 30-minute time frame has a TD9 count top with price trading below its breakout level of support at 469.75. That suggests that Microsoft wants to head lower. Again, that lower price out here is the top of its new profile right now. And that number again, 466.27. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. When we come back, when we take a look at some of the requests that have come in. So we'll look at silver, BGZ, AUST, AGEN, and TERN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So the first request coming in from Inno Visual inside the Tiger's Den. Inno would like to take a look at high-ho silver out there. On the daily time frame, that's your left-hand panel chart, you can see an A to B equals CD pattern that's been drawn in. That gets us up towards the $38 level. We are in bar number 7 today. If we start trading above yesterday's high, whether it's tomorrow or the next day, yesterday's high was 37.03. We could trigger a TD9 count topping pattern out here. That would form or could form between tomorrow and Friday out there, so want to keep an eye on that. If that does not form, you've still got that A to B equals CD pattern. If price attains the 1-to-1 level, then you would be looking for a bearish reversal candle that would generate a sell the D point top. On a weekly time frame, there's a TD9 count top. Let's see here, was that taken out last week? The high of that TD9 count top, October 25th, and the high there is 36.10. Last week's close was 36.14. So that TD9 count top was negated. There is not a 3 drive to a top. I mean, that would be a logical question. Let me open up the chart here. It makes it a little bit easier. It looks like it could be, right? But then we would be forcing it. What do you mean we'd be forcing it, Steve? Well, let's do this here. Let me just scrunch just a little bit. Let's pull up our time measurement tool out here. So the time measurement tool, let's see if we can set this. Where the heck is it? Right here, time cycles, and hopefully I've got it set to the right thing. So this would be the first. Well, yeah, I do, I guess you could say. So it's on the bottom. So I've identified this high out here, which is May 31st. You can see it lines up at the bottom down here. All right. Then the next high that comes in with that's TD9 count top, October 25th. Well, the next high for that 3 drive to the top needed to take place right around March the 21st. So to suggest this is a weekly time frame, to suggest that we're into June and now is the time when it'll be completing it, no, not a chance out there. Now, with regard to with regard to potential Chapman wave counts, there's the potential for wave number 7 signal that is out here. The only other pattern I would see on the weekly, it's really the same thing I would say on the daily, which is the A to B equals CD pattern out there. And, of course, this would require a bearish reversal candle to confirm its top as well. So it's really the same pattern that is out there. So on the weekly chart, really tough to call some type of topping signal. What I can share with you is prices trade above profile and oscillator and change line resistance, and that is bullish. The same is true with regard to the monthly time frame chart. The monthly time frame chart is trading above all kinds of resistance out there. So silver on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly is in breakout mode, period, out there, and should go target that 30-ish area out there. So that's what I see when I take a look at the silver charts. I hope that helps you out. And as always, thank you for your request. The next request comes in from Sharky. Would like to take a look at VGZ out here. So let's go ahead and pull up its charts. VGZ right now is testing its buy zone. This is on the daily time frame, Sharky. So this forms a new profile today, and that gives you a bullish structured profile. So your buy zone is between 95 and 98 pennies out there. It did form a Rhodes momentum indicator top. It confirmed that pattern on May 22nd. And since then, we have been heading lower. So the key level to be watching here would be 95 cents. If we close below that, odds favor, we move lower. The weekly time frame chart shows that we're trading with inside profile, but that it has lost its momentum. Now, it's only Tuesday. Where does it close on Friday? Does it close above the oscillator and change line, Sharky? That's at $1. Might be $1, $2, something like that on Friday. Does it close above that? If it does, then odds favor you get back to 105. Above that, back to the highs. If it closes below it, we've lost this momentum. You got to really keep an eye on that 95 cents. If price closed below 95, you would be looking at 83. If price closed below 83, you'd be looking at 77 to 72. 77 coming from the monthly oscillator and change line, 72 the weekly bottom of its profile. Now, what else do we know? Really not much that I can see here, Sharky, that I think would be a benefit to you. But hopefully the information I did provide just a short time ago was helpful to you. You also want to take a look at AUST. So let's pull those charts up on our screen, see what they are communicating to us. On a monthly basis, what you like here is that price is testing profile resistance. That's at $1.51. So at the end of the month, if price closed above $1.51, that would be a bullish signal. The weekly time frame, which has a TD9 count bottom, has basically been trading sideways. It closed above the top of its weekly profile last month. We are trading above it this month. If we do get a consecutive close above 144, a second consecutive close, it's different than all the other times where it broke it for 1 week and fell back the following week. That would suggest that we are in a bit of a breakout mode for the weekly time frame. Therefore, if we're above resistance on the monthly, we're above resistance on the weekly, certainly it'll target or should target its recent swing from back on February 14th. That's up at $1.80. But above $1.80, you're headed to 255. Now to the daily time frame chart. AUST has got a new profile that is formed today. That new profile yesterday, 142 is support. The center's at 149. The top is at 161. 161 this morning was tested and rejected. See if price can close above that. Is there any other kind of pattern out here in the daily time frame to take a look at? So it looks to me like this maybe had to sell the D point top. I'm not checking out that retracement to know if that's at least a 0.786 retracement. Visually, looks like it probably held up to that level. So then we have a sell the D point top that formed back here on June the 6th with that dark cloud cover candle. And we can see again, price traded with inside its profile. So to the downside, watch 149 and 142. If you get below $1.42, you're headed lower. That is ticker symbol AUST. Again, the daily's got to sell the D point top. The weekly and the monthly are trying to break out. You close above the high from back on June 5th, 165. It negates that topping pattern. So Sharky, that was VGZ. That was AUST. Thank you for your request out there. Dan inside the Tigers Den would like to take a look at AGEN. Folks, if you are listening in and you do have something that you'd like me to take a look at, please send me an email. Send it off quickly, early. Send it to Steve at TFNN.com, and I'll be happy to take a look at it. AGEN out here. I can see what equates to as a sell the D point top that formed yesterday with yesterday's dark cloud cover candle. Today, we have a new profile. That profile's got resistance at 602. It has one level of support, which is at the center at 501, a likely target. Price close below 501, Dan. We're looking to move back to 401, 401 being the bottom of its profile. A TD9 count top is going to go ahead and confirm this week. It's confirming, in essence, right below its breakout level of support of $5.91. Now, it's only Tuesday. If this were Friday, and in fact, we got to close below 591, I would say that's a suggestion to expect or anticipate perhaps a 2-week pullback out there, but certainly a pullback with the price target being around the 227-ish level, 256 to 227-ish level. The monthly time frame, nothing wrong with it. Nice TD9 count bottom. Price trading above the oscillator and change line. Price trading inside its profile. Eventually wants to get to 766. But right now it's a daily and it's a weekly time frame that you got to keep an eye on. Now the weekly time frame weekly time frame TD9 count top will not complete until next week out there. Daily's got to sell the D point. Watch support on a further move lower. We come back this break. We've got 2 requests so far. TERN, that's for Dan, and EEM for GTE. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, reversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs? Trade wars? Analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento for the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We got ticker symbol TERN on our screen for us. If we take a look at the start with the monthly chart forms a TD9 count top back in March of 2023. And then eventually, when I say eventually, April of 2025, price gets all the way back to that breakout level, $1.79. Now, look, it didn't get to $1.79. It got to $1.87. And then forms a nice bullish piercing candle. What price should do here is price above its oscillator and change line is make its way over time up to the 574, 715 level. Between that area and really it's at 715, Dan, we're on a rally. That's where a counter trend move would come to an end. You've got a long time or you got time before it gets there. I can't say whether it's long or not, but that's where a counter trend move would come to an end. But I would say on the monthly time frame, you've got a bottom. That's really the most important thing for me to share with you at this stage of the game. With resistance up ahead. On the weekly time frame chart, looks like on a weekly time frame, you're going to get a profile change in trend. You do have an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. We could draw that in here. It actually will look a little bit nicer than the one on the daily time frame, but they're basically the same out here. So there's your A to B point. Let's just simply go ahead and copy and paste. I'm going to try to copy and paste. I really am trying. What is going on, Steve-O? All right. I can't even grab it. What the Sam heck? Wow. All right. I got another idea. Let me try to draw another line out here. And let me see if I can grab that one. Oh, my goodness. Stevie is having a technical tilt. Okay. So let's forget that. We've got the A to B equals CD pattern on the daily time frame that you can see out there. Price has not attained its one-to-one price projection level, but it's not that far away. What you'd be watching for in the weekly time frame is if a bearish reversal candle were to form, not now, but maybe next week or whenever, that could form a sell the D point top. But right now, what you're getting, and you need 2 weeks of this, Dan, is a profile change in trend, and that requires two closes above 381. The daily time frame, though, as we discussed during the breakout there, by pinging each other, you're going to go ahead and complete a TD9 count top today. It's completing that TD9 count breakdown resistance. The TD9 count breakdown resistance level is 421. We're trading at basically 421 right now. Is this a guarantee that this is going to top? Now, what should take place out here, Dan, is as the game plan out here. Price should pull back to test support, and that first level will be around 351. I have to say around because it is the oscillator and change line as price moves up and down. So too does that calculation. But somewhere around the 351-ish levels where price should pull back. Below that, we'd be looking at a move to 322. Below that, we'd be looking at $3.05 to $3. So that's the potential out there for a move to the downside. Of course, 381 could also be an area of support. That is from the weekly time frame. Now, when I look at the daily chart out here, I see higher highs, consecutive higher highs, almost across the board. On a day that I didn't see a higher high, for example, here of June 4th, what we had was a lower high. A lower high, a higher low. Don't worry, I'll eventually figure that out. And but other than that, each day we either have higher highs or we have, in this case here, do we have a higher high? And things, how are you going to trade this, or how are you going to, in essence, hedge that $4 stock? Look, all I can do is give you the information out there. The only real topping signal you've got is that daily time frame out here. Maybe it's just a 2-day retracement. It's a nice wide-ranging bar today. That I don't know, but I provide you with the information that I possibly can. So I do hope that helps you out with regard to turn. Let's take a look at the next request coming in. You're welcome, which is from GT, who wants to take a look at the emerging markets. Now, what you'd really love to see in the emerging markets here, GT, at the end of the month, is a close above 46.95. 46.95 is the monthly TD9 count top. If you close above that, you are going to get into a breakout mode, so to speak. You'll be above its TD9 count breakdown level, the top of its monthly profile, its green oscillator and change line. Yeah, that qualifies as breakout mode, and that you would head higher. Now, what it would also potentially do is trigger an A to B equals CD pattern on the upside. Different swing point we'd be looking at. Here we'd look at October of 2024, which has volume of 666 million shares. So far in the month, we're at 141. We're only 10 days in the month. You know, the 20 days, we're the 10th, say the 30th, say 450 maybe, 400. Looks to me like light volume. But even if it passes the B point with light volume, it will still trigger an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. With volume, just gives you a bit more conviction, but doesn't matter. You know, you can still get an A to B equals CD pattern on light volume. Happens all the time. The price projection out here for that 1-to-1 A to B equals CD that has not been established just yet could get you up to the 52-ish level out there. All right, let's look at the weekly time frame chart. The weekly time frame chart is in bar number 7 on a weekly basis, so no problem there. Price is taken on prior resistance. The prior resistance was October 11th. The volume, 171 million shares. In a day and a couple hours of trading, we're at 30 million shares. No way for me to do the math on that one. But if price does close above, volume or not, if it closes above 47.44, you're at 47.37, you negate that prior swing point, it increases the odds of moving higher. Daily time frame, bar number 6 today, no topping signal that I see here, so price is likely to continue to rally. As long as U.S. dollar index doesn't start spiking to the upside, the EEM, I should continue to motor on higher. So GTE, I hope that helps you out with regard to that. ELO writes in, would like to take a look at the GDX. So let's get that up on our screen out here. Let's just take a moment here to populate. Well, that's populating. I am going to hydrate. So what do we know about the GDX? Well, the first thing that we know is that price is trading right now below profile support. Profile support here. This was from, who was asking about this? ELO. ELO, so Electric Light Orchestra, Jeff Lynne, of course, you know, they can't get much better than that. Although we did see great concert on Sunday night. Oh, my God, just a great, amazing concert. Anyway, back to the GDX here. GDX closed below 51.68 today. ELO will be a break of profile support. That would suggest that we head lower. Now, I don't know if it's be a false break or not. In other words, tomorrow you could close back above it, and that would be a false break message. Let's go with the fact that it could be a real break message. What does that mean? The real break message says that we likely head lower. Head lower to where? The next downside target of support that I have is at $50.13. Now, that's the weekly oscillator and change line, so let's just call it 50 because I don't know what that what those two digits are going to be as price moves up and down out there. So I'd say it'd be about 50. If price closes below 50 cent, if price closes below 50 out there, then we're talking about a move back to the 46.10 to 46.65 level out there. Yeah, that's what the GDX is telling you and I. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Why don't we take a look at Goldilocks? And I'll just throw that in there, ELO, because we know about the direction of correlation. Let's see what Goldilocks is doing today. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. I got to give a minute for these charts here to populate. Now that we're going to take a look at Roblox, that's the ticker symbol that's going to pop up. But we're going to use those charts when we do an analysis for Nicholas for APH out there, who's looking to short a stock. So we want to see what's going on underneath the covers. But we were taking a look at the GDX. I mentioned I put the gold charts up on my screen, which we are. So we got the GDX headed lower with gold basically moving just sideways. So we really have to go do a study on the GDX charts out there to understand, what the top 8 holdings, top 10 holdings are doing and why that is moving lower. We're not seeing gold, move lower as well. But again, watch 33.14.20 on Goldilocks. If you see a close below that, we're likely to see 32.16. It does have a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top on the daily, a TD9 count top on the weekly, and it's also got a TD9 count top on the monthly. It doesn't show here on the August contract only because I don't have enough data. If I put the continuous contract up there, then you would see that TD9 count top as well. Dennis wants to look at TSSI. He also wants to look at ODD out there. So let's look at both. Let's start with the TSSI. At TSSI today is formed bar number 8 of a TD9 count. That says that tomorrow, if price is able to close above 1694, Dennis, you will officially have a TD9 count top for the daily time frame. You have a new profile that has formed. That new profile is below price. That is typically a bullish message. That doesn't mean that price can't get back there. This new profile, if price were to move back, the level that you'd be looking for to not get below is 1491. If price got below 1491, that would tell you that it's more than just a counter trend move to the downside. But before price could get down there, 1730-ish becomes a price target. That is its oscillator and change line. So this likely will go ahead and form a TD9 count top between today and Friday. I wish I could tell you for sure that it was today or tomorrow, Friday. I can't. But what I can tell you is that you do have a TD9 count top out here. Now, in the weekly time frame, we do not have any kind of a topping pattern whatsoever. You're only in bar number 7. So that's not signaling to you and I that it wants to move lower, nor is the monthly time frame chart. Well, let me go ahead and populate this, make sure. That's not suggesting that this wants to move lower. It looks like it wants to move higher out there. That's on TSSI. So that's what's going on there. Again, if it does pull back, 1731-ish being a likely price target. You also wanted to look at ticker symbol ODD. Let's get that up on our screen. And ODD today is confirming a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. It's doing that because it has generated a gap to the downside. You've got and prices trading below profile support. Now, the next price target, Dennis, to the downside for ODD on its daily time frame is 62.12. The weekly time frame is hinting right now that you could form a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. All you need is a bearish reversal candle. At the moment, you've got a bearish sash candle. That would then suggest a pullback towards 61.69 to 63.90-ish. If price gets below 61.69, you'd be looking to move to 54.15. The monthly time frame chart, not enough data out here, other than we are trading above profile, but just not enough data. Hasn't traded long enough to really provide you with any really good information. So daily says I want lower price, 62.12. Weekly could be telling us by weekend that it wants lower price, 61, 69, 63-ish area out there. That's what's going on. We take a look at ODD and TSSI. That is for Dennis down the street in West Palm Beach, Florida. Let's go take a look at APH. So let's go do that. That is for Nicholas. And Nicholas is asking about a short. So last evening for subscribers, Nicholas is a subscriber, I had provided an entire list of the TD9 count tops that were out there for the index ETFs, the sectors inside the SP 500, every instrument inside the NDX 100, and every instrument inside the NDX 100, as well as the S&P 500. One of the instruments that showed up on that scan is APH. So let's go ahead and put that up here. And Nicholas is trying to understand, is this a good risk-reward short? It showed up on the daily time frame as possibly being a good risk-reward short. So now let's take a look at this multiple time frames as well as the intraday charts out here to provide Nicholas with the best information that we can. Now, on a monthly time frame, we do not have any kind of a top here. Price is in full breakout mode there. So longer term, this is suggesting it wants to move higher. The weekly time frame did get above last week's high. What that means is we've got bar number 8 that will go ahead and confirm this week. Next week, as long as price closes below 85.55, you will then get a confirmed TD9 count top out there. So odds favor right now on the weekly time frame that you will get a top. How about the daily? One thing shifted overnight, so I'm glad that you wrote into me. And that one thing that shifted overnight is we now have a new profile. That formed this morning. Your question is, so you can see the TD9 count top, is now a good time to get into a short here. The problem is, now for this instrument, is that price is tested and rejected both the top of its profile at 94.11, the actual high today, 94.11, and it's tested the bottom of support, 91.13. The low today, 91.06. Now, Nicholas, if price were to close now on the intraday time period out here, do we have any bottom signals? And the answer there is no. Nothing that I see. So what that tells you and I is that price bounced or held because of that strong group of buyers at 91.13. If price closed below 91.13, the group that's stronger will be the sellers, not the buyers. And that would then suggest a move back to the daily time frame would say 86.75. The weekly time frame would say 83.51. The monthly time frame could be 78.66. You've got a 195-minute TD9 count top with price dealing with profile support. And that is a buy zone. That buy zone is between 91.71 and 91.98. So that says 91.77 is a key level, but we know 91.13 is a more key level. Rhodes Momentum Indicator top on the 130-minute time frame chart, support at 90.93. Rhodes Momentum Indicator top on the 65, on the 35, on the 15-minute. So this has all the makings of, yes, this is a good short, with one exception, Nicholas, and that is 91.13, the bottom of that, what is a bullish structured daily profile. So the buy zone is between 91.13 and 92.32. Only a close below 91.13 is going to suggest that this thing has the potential momentum to head lower to the price targets that I was able to provide you with. So I hope that that helps you out. It was a good short until the new profile started today out there. So I hope that helps you out, and I am so very glad that you went ahead and wrote in. Let's go to our next request out here. This is coming in from GTE. He would like to take a KWEB. I believe that is the China web service out here, KWEB. Let's go see what it is doing. This is going to take a moment or two to populate. But that's okay. I don't know that we'll get this in before the break here, GTE. So we come back from the break. We'll look at KWEB, and I'll see if there's any morsel of information that I can provide to each of you. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. K-Web forms a TD9 count bottom pattern on May the 30th. Now we're trading above profile. We're trading above its oscillator change line. We're trading above its TD9 count breakdown resistance level out there. We had a 4-day move to the upside. It would make sense to have a 2-day move to the downside. 2 to 4 day move to the downside. I'd say more likely 2 or 3 days as price pulls back. Maybe it finds support at about 34.14. Weekly chart, just a consolidation with inside a profile. The same thing is true for the monthly time frame. Next request is to take a at TGB. This is for Dan from New York City. Dan, TGB is going to go ahead and form, it looks like, a sell the D point top today. You've got a nice bearish engulfing candle out there. Let's assume that holds. Now, what does that say? Does it say curtains? No. That just says that price. Now they've got a new profile out here. Profile resistance 314, and profile support is between 286 and 295. A close below 286 will get us down to the 260-ish type level out there. Weekly looks good. Monthly looks good. But it looks like you're going to get a daily sell the D point top. Fletch wants to take a look at Disney. Ticker symbol there, DIS. Let's pull those charts up on our screen. Monthly chart, we can see a sideways consolidation. It's basically been in a sideways consolidation since September of 2023 out there. No idea whether price will go ahead and break through that consolidation. The weekly time frame chart, we've seen a nice rally out there. You are in bar number 7 of a TD9 count pattern. Prices trade above TD9 count breakdown resistance at 116.94. That is a bullish outcome, and prices traded inside its swing point for March 29. 50 million shares there. Again, only 1 hour or 1 day and a little over 2 hours. We're at 13 million shares going into something that had 50 million shares. I can't tell you whether we've got volume or not, but price, if it does close inside that swing point and it does with volume, close in above 116.87, odds favor a rally up to 123.74. The daily time frame, I do not see any kind of a top inside of Disney. What I see is a negated TD9 count top from yesterday. So Disney should rally further. Folks, stay tuned for all the great programming. Thanks for joining me on Terrific Tuesday. Please have just a wonderful day, and I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And be safe and take care out there.